Alright, welcome back, and let's talk about variables and how we can use them in our program. So first of all, you're probably familiar with what a variable is. It's a placeholder for information for data that can change. And so in our context, we're just going to talk about strings, integers, and doubles. They're the three most basic ones you'll come across. In my slides, I talk about the other ones. So let's create a new class inside our basics project. So right-click and new class. And I'm going to call this class a salary calculator. And I'm going to hit finish. Okay, so Eclipse generates this for me. Let's write out our public static void main string arg statement. Okay, so in this application, here's what I want to do. So I want to say, let's create a variable to define our career. And then once we do that, then we're going to compute our annual salary. And our annual salary is our rate times hours per week times weeks per year. So that will be our outline. Okay, so let's create a variable to define our career. How to define defining a variable. First what we want to do is called declare. So we can declare a variable and we can say string. So we're going to have a string. String is for text. String career. Okay, so this statement just simply declares a variable career. We don't initialize it to any value, but we're just declaring that it's going to exist. We can define it later. We can say system out.print. We can say program is starting. And then later on we can say career is equal to, we'll say, software developer. Okay? Alright, and then now we can do system out.print. We'll say my career is, and then I'll do a colon. So I'll enclose this statement with quotes, and once I finish the quotes, I'll add a plus sign, which is a concatenator, and that will append a variable here that we want to put. So I'll now put career, and here I can run this. There we go, program starting. My career is a software developer. Take that is out. Okay, now we have our simple line saying we're a software developer. We've declared a variable. Now we can declare and define. So here we declared a variable. Here we defined a variable, and then later on what we're doing is declaring and defining in the same line. So we'll say our integer hours per week. We'll say we work 40 hours a week. We say there are weeks per year equals 50. And then our rate, we'll say double rate is, I'll say 42.50. Okay, so if we run this again, there's going to be no change because all we did was just declare and define. We didn't actually do anything with those variables. So once we have declared them, then what we need to do is actually compute our annual salary. So let's say double salary equals, and then this is just arithmetic here. We'll do all these variables and then multiply them out. Hours per week, weeks in a year, times the rates. And that should give us how much we're making each year. And then we want to print that value. So I can just say the salary, right? So now I'm going to print the variable. And we just have a flat number here. And let's give it some meaning here. So let's say my salary as a, and let's concatenate, and then let's include our career. Concatenate it once again. And then let's concatenate the rate. So my career as a software developer at the rate of, so let's concatenate our rate. Concatenate this, and that is, there we go. Okay, and then finally we'll do per year. course, we already know it's per year because we already said salary. Okay, squeeze this over so we can see everything. So we're expecting to see my career as a software developer at the rate of $42.50, I should say per hour, is $85,000. And let's run this and see if that's what we get. My salary as a software developer at the rate of $42.50 per hour is $85,000 per year. There we go. So that's how we declare and define variables. We can define them and declare them later. We can redefine them. For example, we can say later on we change our career once again to web developer, and we add a semicolon to close that off. And I'm going to run this. So now we are changing this from a software developer to a web developer. So we can change the values of variables later on. We can define them again later. So once again, we've defined it and declared variables separately together, and we've put them inside our statements and concatenated them. So that's a little bit of an introduction to how we can use variables in our programs.